ducking cover, ducking cover, ducking cover. One more time on the leash and she'll leave you for another.
Wow! Would you look at that cut edge? And speaking of the cutting edge, here's a show that highlights the talented, the entertaining, the interesting, and my favorite part of the show, there's a monologue that will have you rolling on your floor in uncontrollable laughter. So with that, I say, coming from the largest fishing port in America, here's PaulSantosLiveShow.
Yeah, baby mama, welcome to the show tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a big show tonight, Chops, a big show tonight.
Sir.
First of all, I'd like to thank our announcer, Johnny J, for coming up with that, that cutting edge thing, right? He's out there in the woods thinking about this show. That's a good idea. And also the NB Rude Boys, our house band. We highlight the talented, interesting, and entertaining from our area. No exception to that tonight. This gentleman is all three. He's a documentary film producer. He's done such great work as the Bridgewater Triangle. It's Mr. Aaron Cadieux right there.
Hello, everybody.
Oh.
And don't forget, a little bit later on, we have some music from a gentleman who's from New Bedford, but he spent the weekend down in Nashville, Tennessee, performing. Mr. Jimmy James will be along later. Yeah. And we have the sidekick of the century, the Sultan of Smooth. Mr. Chops Turner is right there. There he is.
Hey, Sultan of Smooth.
The Sultan of Smoothalicious. All right, we're going to get to our guests in a moment. We have a big night lined up tonight, so we hope folks will hang around. Don't forget, let us know where you're watching from. Type in and say hello, and we'll have some, some interaction. Some interaction between Chops and myself. You can say hello to Chops, Aaron, make whatever comment you'd like to make tonight politely. Now let's get to our news. I got some good news to report tonight, gentlemen. The mask mandate up here in Massachusetts has been lifted as of May 29th. I should say will be lifted by Governor Baker. Boy, that's going to be really, really great to think that we don't have to have those masks anymore and everything. Oh, what a wonderful thing. But, there are still some places around the country where they have exceptions. I heard in the District of Columbia, you still have to wear a mask when dancing. I guess that's, the corona travels through the air. But I do have a question, Chops. I do have a question. Suppose you're dancing and your partner is facing the other way. Does that still apply? Or?
I guess so.
Oh, sorry. The young kids that like to dance,
Yeah.
All right.
That applies.
The next story comes out of Boston. My son lives up in Boston in an apartment building, and one day he saw a police officer coming into the building. So he said, "Excuse me, officer, is there a problem here?" And the guy said, "No, I'm looking for a bachelorette party. I'm a dancer." He's dressed as a cop,
Yeah.
Chops, are you there? I guess it was a wide opening of the state soon. That's all it was. Anyway, the last thing that was heard from the bachelorette party was, "Take it off, the mask too." Hey, Chops, you ever forget your phone? The other day I'm driving around and, I realized I didn't have my phone with me. And, things have gotten to the point now where, like, if you don't have your phone, oh, my God, you just feel like, oh, you can't talk to your kids. You can't you catch up with your wife. You can't get text, but you can't get anything, right? Mm-hmm. So I felt like I was lost. I didn't even know what time it was. So I got to an intersection. I turned down the window. I said, "Excuse me, sir. Do you know what time it is?" It was a Comcast guy. He said, "Between 8 and 1. All right.
Phone, wallet, keys. That's the three things, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, Chops, I'm still having that back pain and, the rheumatoid arthritis and everything, So the other day I was standing in my kitchen. I told my wife, I said, "Gee, I think I should take a pill." And you know, my wife, she's wonderful. All of us can be grumpy, Chops. You can be grumpy. I can be grumpy. Our wives can be grumpy, you know. My wife was grumpy that day. So I said, you know, I'm going to take a pill. Why don't you take a pill too? She goes, why should I? You're standing right here. There's a pill right there. All right, one more. Is the guest still here? Is he
I'm
still there?
here.
All right.
I'm still here.
Aaron's still in.
That guy's a
Right
big
there, though. It's not far.
that guy's a big time documentary filmmaker. We can't be fooling around with him. All right, one more. You know, the sheriff here in Bristol County, Massachusetts, has just announced that they're going to have a new canine dog that got on the staff over here. Let's see. I think I got a picture of the canine dog right here. Yeah, you know, it's really nice. You know, these dogs are so smart. They can go around. It's a nice lab there. Yeah, no, they can go around. They can sniff for dogs, and they can not sniff for dogs, sniff for drugs and things like that. And they can go after. No, really, they can go after criminals and stuff like that. You know. But then I was thinking that's really impressive and everything. But how about this? You know, I know dogs that you never have to get a pooper scooper for because they learn how to clean themselves. Look at this right here.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. All right, so much for that. All right, another one for the scrap heap over there. All right, well, don't forget, seriously. You see my friend over here, Chops Turner, he's a great entertainer and a great singer, and he has a show called The Chops Turner Show. It's every single Sunday night on the Chops Turner Facebook page. We're going to hear a clip of that a little bit later on. He is just sensational. That's why we call him the Sultan of Smooth-alicious. So Sunday nights on the Chops Turner Facebook page. And our newest sponsor, we want to say hello to ServPro, our newest sponsor who just got on board. Okay, now let's get to our tremendous guest. He is a documentary filmmaker, grew up right here in the town of Dartmouth. Some great projects coming up, as well as the the Bridgewater Triangle that just went by. Say hello to Mr. Aaron Cadieux. There he is right there, Aaron Cadieux. All right. Aaron, welcome to the show here. Welcome to the show. So what do you think so far?
I just had to show you a kid in a room. No, it's great. Probably the kid. Maybe that's the problem, Chops. Maybe like we have second grade humor over here. That's the issue. Anyway. Well, anyway, let's learn a little bit about Aaron. You know, Aaron grew up here in Dartmouth and right next door to the #1 fishing port where we're broadcasting from, and really fell in love with media and editing and putting movies together and all that. Why did you decide that that's what you wanted to do? I don't know. I think grew up in the neighborhood, and one of the neighbors had a video camera, and so we started making our own stupid movies in the backyard, and I just took a liking to it and kind of fell in love with it back then and knew from a very young age that that's what I wanted to do with my life. So I was lucky in that regard. I've kind of always had that as my goal and my focus. I never kind of waffled on careers. I kind of had that in my mind from the beginning, and so it was pretty easy. You know, I ended up doing a little bit of that in high school, went on to college, did the same thing in college, and now I'm running my own business doing the same thing. So it's pretty much all I've ever known.
And starting your own business back, I believe you said early last decade, that was really something that you always dreamed of doing, and you were able to accomplish that.
Yeah, I had been working in the video industry for a while, and I was also moonlighting on the side, running my own business, and eventually got to the point where the work I was getting on the side was enough to sustain me. So, you know, it's nothing better than being your own boss. You know, I got to work my tail off to make it work, but I love it.
Well, tell me about the Bridgewater Triangle. I think a lot of people have heard of the Bermuda Triangle, but then after that, people also started hearing a lot about the Bridgewater Triangle, which is a section right here in Massachusetts where there's been a lot of strange occurrences, and you decided to do a documentary about that.
Yeah, I had actually done a short documentary on it when I was in college. It's more or less a student film. And somebody got a copy of that and put it on Google Video, which was the precursor to YouTube. And when it was on Google Video, it got like 70,000 views or something like that. And so I kind of filed it away in the back of my head that it was a popular topic. There was an interest in it. And so once I was established running my own company,
I started laying the groundwork to do an actual proper feature-length documentary. And we worked on it for about 3 years. We premiered it in 2013 at UMass Dartmouth, as a matter of fact. We sold out. 850 people showed up for the screening. We showed it a week later at Bridgewater State. Another 450-seat sellout. One was going head-to-head with the Red Sox in the World Series. The other one went head-to-head with the Patriots. And so it surprised us, really. I mean, we thought people might like it. We didn't expect it to take off like it did. But the Bridgewater Triangle is a very popular topic, especially amongst people that are interested in paranormal. It's kind of something that's known worldwide as a paranormal hotspot, or a place where a lot of odd occurrences are reported. I'm a major skeptic. I actually don't believe in most of it, but I do find it to be a fun and interesting topic nonetheless.
You know, I agree with you. I am a little bit of a skeptic, but the way you put it together, I mean, the way everything came together, interviewing all of the different people that claim to have had, you know, different occurrences and witnessing different things, it was really well edited together, and it really flows very well.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit of everything. We kind of call it a buffet of the unexplained. So it's got stuff for the ghost crowd, the Bigfoot crowd, the UFO crowd, a little bit of the true crime stuff thrown, a little bit of true history thrown in. So it's got something for everybody, and I think that's why it was relatively well received. And it's not one of these things you say it's a documentary about the paranormal and people have it in their minds that it's going to be a bunch of kids running around in the camera looking for in the woods with a camera looking for Bigfoot, but it's not like that. It's more from a historical perspective, and it's just basically we felt it was our job to collect the stories and relay them to the general public, and we weren't trying to convince anybody that this is legit. You know, we kind of let the viewers make their own determination.
Well, it is now on YouTube, and if you want to go and see it on YouTube, which I then did look at it last night, and it really came out great. I know we did it a number of years ago, but it's now on YouTube, so you can go over there and see it. And here's a little clip of the trailer that Aaron put together to try to, you know, show a little bit about what the topic is about. So here it is, the trailer, or one of them, a snippet from it, from the Bridgewater Triangle.
In 1975, I moved from California to Cambridge, Massachusetts. I started picking up on this whole notion that there was an area in southeast Massachusetts that almost was a magnet of weird phenomena, and really noticed it was a triangle.
Whatever it is, we keep talking about this region for some reason.
I certainly think that the Hockomock Swamp serves as the epicenter of activity in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Off in the distance was an extremely large, man-like creature.
I saw something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
I saw what appeared to be the Sasquatch creature that I heard about.
Suddenly, I saw something walk. It was about 3 or 4 feet tall. It wanted to get me in its space. This is what I felt like.
A lot of people seem to think that because of King Philip's War, the Native Americans placed a curse on the Bridgewater Triangle region.
One of the greatest paranormal experiences occurred at Anawan Rock. As I turned around, I met the eyes of an older man.
The 1970s in particular were a time of very high UFO activity in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Jerry Lopes and I were heading down to the Rainham Dog Track, and all of a sudden the stars blotted out in the shape of an arrow as this thing passed overhead.
I almost felt like I could throw a rock at the thing. It seemed that close to me.
I pulled over the Rainham Dog Track parking lot. I'm right under this wharf as it's berthing these ships. What I seen was definitely not from this world.
A lot of criminal cult activity happened in the Freetown State Forest.
We had evidence that rituals taking place in the state forest. Then there was a huge amount of calves with the absence of blood.
This mausoleum was broken into, and juveniles actually stole the head out of here.
They believed that they could gain power by drinking from the skull.
Legends and stories about the Bridgewater Triangle will never stop. Nobody can argue that there isn't something very special about this area.
Something real happened here. There's no other way.
Really, really fascinating stuff, and you can see it on YouTube now. So we're really, we really want to push that because I know so much work was put into that, and it was from a number of years ago. But I have to ask you, the thing about like Bigfoot walking around there and stuff like that. You know, I'm looking at that photo and listening to the witness there, and I don't know, I'm starting to think that, you know, like you, I'm a little bit of a skeptic, even though I love the documentary.
That was the sighting by a Bridgewater resident named Joseph DeAndrade, who is a walking reality show in and of himself. He's one of the most interesting people I've ever met in my life. And he's got a lot of interesting stories. I mean, he's like stuck in 1978 when he allegedly saw that creature. You walk into his office and he's got all of his memorabilia all over the walls. He still makes his newsletter on a typewriter, has no idea how to use a computer, has no idea probably that this show is happening right now. He's, like I said, he's stuck in 1978 forever.
Hey, Chops, have you ever seen Bigfoot walking around the south end of New Bedford there?
I probably did. I probably didn't know who he was.
Yeah, like around, East Beach, West Beach. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's
that's amazing.
Yeah, that
Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah.
I've been to the Bermuda Triangle, and that was scary itself.
And you made it back to tell about it, which I'm glad about that.
The Bridgewater Triangle is significantly smaller than the Bermuda Triangle.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing.
The Freetown State Forest is part of that Bridgewater Triangle, and if you've grown up around here, we know all about the Freetown State Forest. There's a lot of, cult stuff going on up there, and even like, I don't know, Satan worshiping and things like that. And it's been a place that, there's some strange happenings up there, but I think mostly performed by the people that are there.
Well, the interesting thing is I didn't know about the Bridgewater Triangle until I got to college, and I stumbled across it while doing some research online for possible documentary topics. But the interesting thing is I grew up in the way northern part of Dartmouth on High Hill Road, which is only about 6 miles down the road from the main entrance to the Freetown State Forest. So I grew up hearing about all the stories about the alleged, cults in the forest and all sorts of weird occurrences and things like that. So I knew of that. But then when I heard that it tied into the overall concept of the Bridgewater Triangle, that made it all the more fun to investigate.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about the highway murders case up here in Massachusetts. It's a very serious subject. Started back in the late 1980s, and there were bodies of young women found along the highways and so forth. And you can get more information at thehighwaymurders.com, but it's a documentary that's coming out. And this one, you're looking to put this together in a number of parts, right?
Yeah, it's not like the Bridgewater Triangle, which is a standalone 90-minute feature. This is being built as a 7-part, as of right now, 7-part series, with each, part leading into the next one. Because, we found very early on with telling that story that one single film couldn't do it justice, and it deserved to be told in this long, slow burn, true crime format.
Well, I have a clip of a trailer with regard to the highway murders case also. So take a quick look at this, and then we'll follow up with Aaron in a moment.
It was 4th of July weekend. My pager went off, called the station, made a phone call, and found out that Lakeville Police wanted my assistance. And I drove up to the scene. I met with a female who apparently is going into the woods to make a rest stop, and came across this skeletal remains of a female.
Saturday, July 30th. The remains of a body were found in a wooded area off Route 195 in Dartmouth.
As soon as the second body was found, right away I said, I think we have a serial killer on our hands.
Well, we were on a normal river patrol, and one of the workers come and got me, and, it was a human skull.
6 specially trained police dogs will be searching selected secondary roads and highways throughout the area.
The DA says police are now looking at a number of possible suspects.
A new complaint is issued against Neil Anderson for assault with intent to commit rape.
Tony DeGrazia became a suspect.
Former New Bedford attorney Ken Pont appeared in New Bedford Superior Court charged with beating and killing Rochelle Clifford DePirla.
I demand that your harassment of me be stopped immediately.
Do I agree with the way Pina handled the case? No, I don't.
So a lot of controversy there, of course, and a lot of pain and suffering over the years trying to, come up with for sure who actually was the guilty party. But the documentary, you're hoping to eventually get that to even a place like a Netflix or something like that, which would be fantastic.
Yeah, we'd love to get it to one of the, streaming networks or even HBO. I mean, we'll take whatever we can get with it, but we're hoping it reaches that level.
When do you think it might be done?
I hate to put a date on it. You know, we've been working on it for 6 years, and we get comments from people like, is this thing ever going to be finished? And, you know, I just ask for people's patience because it's basically a 2-3 person operation. And, you know, the Bridgewater Triangle took about 3 years to put together, and that was a single 90-minute film. And this is a 7-part series being put together by a skeleton crew who also has their regular jobs to devote time to. So when you look at it that way, we basically made one episode over the course. We made like 7 episodes over a 6-year time period. So we've really done all right, especially considering when projects like this are usually put together by teams of dozens, if not hundreds of people. But I promise people, we are at the end of this process. We are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it'll be sooner rather than later that we can make an announcement as to where this is going to go.
How difficult was it dealing with the subject matter that you had to deal with doing a documentary like that?
Yeah, it's very different from the Bridgewater Triangle. I mean, one instance you're talking about people who claim to have seen, you know, UFO fly over the house, but in this instance, we're, you know, dealing with families of these victims who have had basically no answers to their questions for 30 years. And they've gone through a lot. And that was one of the most important parts of this project, was to give a voice to these victims. You know, it's been done in print, but it's never been done in this format before. I mean, there was some television shows back in the late 80s, early 90s that may have touched on the case, like Geraldo Rivera and things like that, but there's never been a real documentary on this case. So this is, I think, it's long overdue that the story be told in this format.
Well, it's a very interesting topic, and I think it's going to do well, and hopefully it does, because it's an important topic. It's something that caused so much pain in this area and suffering, and for people to hear the story from start to finish, I think is a great benefit to not only the people in this area, but people across the country where there's a lot of unsolved cases that cause a lot, you know, pain and anguish. Now,
I mean, you're talking about one of the most well-known unsolved serial murder cases in American history, really. I mean, at the time, it was a massive story, and people around here haven't forgotten.
Future projects, not counting this one. Did you have like some thoughts? Hey, I'm going to continue to do documentaries. This is the thing I really love to do.
Documentary. If I could just do documentary film full time with no other distractions, that would be my ultimate goal. I mean, it's an addictive process. It's a lot of fun putting these together, and it's very interesting. As far as future topics, I kind of am gravitating towards the true crime stuff. I really find that interesting. So maybe covering another case, whatever case that may be. I couldn't tell you.
And you still do a lot of stuff. You know, you have clients that you make videos for. You do productions for private companies.
If anybody out there looking for a video production, television commercials, corporate videos, just hit up Bristol County Media, and we basically do it all.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good, Chops. I'm going to jot this down. You know, some of these opens and these bumps, like we could probably kick it up a couple of notches if it was done professionally, as opposed to like, you know, some of this hacker. All right. We're not doing too bad. All right, Aaron. Hey, I think this is fascinating stuff. It was a lot of fun meeting you. All the best. And if people want to see the Bridgewater Triangle, it's now on YouTube. As far as the highway murder case, he's almost done. That'll be coming out, and there'll be an announcement as to where and when you'll be able to see that. Aaron, thanks again for being with us tonight.
Yeah, the Bridgewater Triangle is also on Amazon Prime, if you're an Amazon Prime member. So that's another way to see it. But anyway, thank you very much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure.
All right, Aaron Cadieux, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hey, that's fascinating stuff, and you know, a lot of serious material there. But we wanted to get to that too. You know, we like to joke around and keep it light here, but you know, that case right there is something that, you know, it's a real serious thing, and I think it's going to do very well when he gets to tell the story, because he is a terrific filmmaker. Okay, up next, we're going to get to our shout outs. Continue to send us your comments. We do have a lot of them we want to get to. There are people all over the country watching tonight. They're looking forward to Mr. Jimmy James from Tennessee. He's going to be coming up in just a moment. But first, let's go to this message from one of our latest sponsors. It is Doug Glassman over there at ServPro. We're here with Doug Glassman from ServPro, and you guys service a lot of needs.
Yes, we absolutely do. Fire, water, mold, cleanup, and restoration.
Remember, at ServPro, they make it like it never even happened. Give them a call at ServPro. Well, there are a lot of people here from Massachusetts, right? And they are big fans of Mr. Jimmy James. So Kev Patrick Noon says, welcome home, Jimmy James.
Yeah.
He's on his way home. That's a 17-hour drive back from Nashville. Lynn Marie Scravano says, hey, Paul and Chops, what's going on?
Nothing
just
much.
Leon Monty said he tuned in late and he missed the monologue.
You missed it, Leon.
Yeah, consider yourself lucky. Well, afterwards. You can see it afterwards. Let's see. Cheryl Jones Lavoie says hello from where she's from. We got Lorianne LaFleur Olson watching from Florida. We got folks watching from Tennessee looking for Mr. Jimmy James. Okay. Well, we had Jimmy James here in the studio a while back, Chops. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. He was great.
Yeah, he was singing all that, the down home country stuff and all that, Well, I got to tell you, he went down this past weekend to Nashville, and he spent the whole weekend there. I've never seen anybody have as much fun as this man has, right? I'm looking in on some of these videos. I'm like, this guy is having the time of his life because he loves the music. He loves Nashville. He puts on a great show, and it's coming from the heart. So I got actually a pretty lengthy interview right here with Jimmy James as he's our next guest. Here he is, Chops. Mr. Jimmy James right here.
Always no huggy, don't kiss each other, and wedding ring. My honey, my baby, don't put my love on the shelf. She said, what go him? Oh, pumpkin! Thank you for having us on the show, Paul.
Hey, it's great to see you again and great to see Nate. I saw how you took that long drive from Massachusetts all the way down to Nashville to perform over a 4-day long weekend. How long did it take you to get there?
Probably about 17 hours, 17-hour drive.
Wow.
Yeah, the two young guys, our bass player Eric and Nate, did all the driving. And the old guy tried to go to sleep but couldn't get comfortable in the car. So I was up for like 48 hours and played at Puckett's last night. Tired as heck, man.
Yeah, Puckett's was awesome.
I mean, we were really blessed to come down here, and we actually had friends, ex-bandmates that showed up in Nashville to surprise us, man, and they ended up coming up on stage and playing last night. So we were at Puckett to get 2 songs to play. We got 4 songs, man. So we put on a concert in front of a sold-out audience, and the vibe, the energy was just so amazing, Paul. The music here is first. Everything else is secondary. Like, they go out to hear music. Then they order food. They order a beer. But it's about the music. Like Puckett's every Thursday. You got to reserve tables 2 weeks in advance and stuff. And it was just an amazing crowd. And man, after not playing a year, Paul, I took all that year frustration and I put everything into it last night with no sleep from the day before. I was totally just going on adrenaline. But the crowd was singing back. They had their hands in the air, and it was amazing, man. It was truly surreal.
First time here, and it really feels like home. The Southern hospitality is like a real thing,
Performing in front of that packed house like you did last night with Jimmy James up on stage. What was that like? Can you put it into words?
It's hard to describe. Like, I haven't played a show in since COVID happened pretty much. So it was surreal, honestly. And after the show, like, just being able to talk to everyone, it was awesome, man. There were so many people like saying Jimmy's name out there. It was crazy, man. Like, even just standing around, all I heard was Jimmy James, Jimmy James.
Now, Nashville is such a great town, such a great music town. And you talked about the hospitality, people talking to each other on the streets, and everybody's so friendly and all that. And that name you got there, Jimmy James. It has that southern feel to it. I love that name. Jimmy James going to play tonight.
I'm the redneck rock star, man. I can open up beer cans with my buck teeth. But that's what, like when we had talked in the first interview, like Billy Lubin brought me down here from the Lubin family, and like people would ask him down here, like, why? What do you see in this guy? You know, he doesn't look like anyone down. He doesn't sound like anyone down here. And Billy's like, that's exactly it. He's different. You know, to be respected and by all these people that have been, you know, been there and hung out with best, had children with them. And it's overwhelming, man. It just blows my mind, you know.
That's one of the things that's unique about Nashville too, is when you're there, you never know who's going to walk in, because very popular, well-known national stars with national name recognition, they just show up down there.
We were in the parking lot getting our instruments to go play on stage at Puckett's, and I'm walking in the door with my guitar, and my buddy Jack Cassidy's coming by the door. I'm like, Jack, he's Jimmy, and I'm like, dude, can you play a song with us on the keyboards? And 30 seconds later, Jack Cassidy, you know, Shirley Jones' grandson, David Cassidy's nephew, was up on stage playing the piano with us. And one of my biggest fans down here, she was out there last night filming us. She had her Jimmy James shirt on, and just encourages me so much is my friend Shelby Blackburn, who, if you Google Shelby Blackburn, she's Greg Allman's ex, and the mother of Greg and Shelby, Layla Brooklyn Allman. And we were sitting on the bench last night, and I'm like, Shelby, my throat's bothering me about, I don't know if I can sing. She's like, well, Greg used to drink lemon juice and all this stuff, right? And when you think about it, like, I'm sitting there, like, she's talking about, Greg Allman, you know.
God bless Willie Whalen, Hank Chris, George Jones. Give us back our country music, leave our shit alone. Something happened, man, true country turned to pop. I'm begging you on Johnny's grave, please make this madness stop. Now give us back our country.
Yeah, give us back our country. We're going to be doing that one tonight, man, and I'm so excited to be doing it with the full band.
So what are your plans now? After you're done there, you're going to be heading back to New England?
Yeah, we're coming right back, and me and Jimmy are actually doing some acoustic gigs.
Our first acoustic gig, Nate and I is doing Perry's Fireside Lounge on Saturday, June 12th. We'll be doing that'll be both of our first time playing in New Bedford since the pandemic, you know, and so we're excited about that. And we're Perry's Fireside Lounge. They're excited, so we're hoping a lot of friends come out to see that. Be a good time.
All right, so when you guys get back here, right, Jimmy, you're going to start writing, and you guys are going to start, you know, looking to maybe, you know, bring some more original music to your sets.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to bring my influence a lot more, because Jimmy wrote a lot of these songs himself. So it should have like a cool, like country, like metal rock vibe going on, because I'm more of like a metal musician, you know?
I saw Nate's guitar riff there from that first video that you posted. I'm like, hey, this guy, man, he went off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm used to going crazy with a lot of my bands, just absolutely rocking out. I feed off the crowd's energy a lot, you know what I mean? And it, like a lot of the solos I have, I kind of play on the spot.
He's playing, I'm banging him and bumping him like it.
Hey, you bumped me just like that. I was like, hey.
But we have fun, and you know, and I think that's what the people dig. And if you're not having fun up on stage, the audience isn't going to have fun, and they can see it's real.
Well, you talk about playing off the crowd. I saw Jimmy doing one of these. Come on now. Come on. Yeah, let's go. Come on. Yeah.
Here we go, man.
Hey, Jimmy, Nate, thanks a lot for jumping in here on our show up here in Massachusetts. We enjoyed it when you came the last time. And down the road, when you come back, we'll have you back in the studio and we'll jam a little bit on the Paul Santos Live Show. How about that?
Paul, me and Nate will come in. We'll do a couple songs and we'd be honored.
Yeah, gentlemen, Mr. Jimmy James right there. Oh, man, I always love talking to Jimmy because he is so enthusiastic. Have you ever seen an artist as enthusiastic as that, Chops?
No, he's filled up.
He brings it to the table. Well, somebody commented here. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I say it's filled up with the spirit, man, the music. That's great.
Yeah, Renee B-Boo Miller. Like that comment about being the redneck rock star. Yeah, rock star. Hey, did you hear that thing about he says he can open up a beer bottle with his teeth? Can you do that? Can you open a beer bottle with your teeth?
Man, I'm too old for that.
You just had your teeth fixed.
I just had my teeth fixed. That's right. I can't mess with that.
If you do that, you might have like a couple of teeth might fall out or something, you know?
I'll lose my 1,300.
Yeah, just another story. Chops had some damage to his teeth, and he went to the dentist. It cost $1,300.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness!
I'm trying to be careful what I eat.
Hey, did you have some steak dinner tonight?
I had steak, man. It was good too.
Oh yeah, I got to get that protein. Hey, Cheryl Jones Lavoie really enjoyed the interview with Jimmy James. Thank you. We did too. Mikkel Kersey says that Jimmy rocked Nashville, and Mikkel's cousin, Michael Green, showed up to surprise him from New Bedford, brought some linguiça and a Purchase Street Records t-shirt. Oh, yeah, I got to love that linguiça. That'd be a big hit down there in Nashville. Don't you think, Chops?
Oh, big hit.
Oh, yeah, baby. Bring a little linguiça down to Nashville. That's what I'm talking about.
With the onions?
What's that?
With the onions?
No, we don't know. It looks like it's just the meat, I think.
You know, I work for a company in I'm a talent scout for AMC Records. Right here?
Yes. What's it called?
I said I'm a talent scout for AMC Records in Nashville.
Oh, very good. Awesome. Oh, that's another. Chops and I are taking a road trip to the Apollo Theater probably this summer, but maybe we can take another road trip back to Nashville. My wife and I went there a couple of years back. It was great. I loved it.
I've never been there.
Oh, you would fit right in. I mean, you know, one venue after the other. Music, all the way down the street, Music. It's just fabulous being somebody like yourself that loves music. Now, let me see. Kevin Patrick Noon says, making New Bedford and Nashville proud. Yes.
Oh.
Shout out to Veronica James, Leon Monty. He said he's going to watch the monologue after the replay comes out. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what happened? You see all this? I had to edit in all these different clips from the Bridgewater Triangle and Jimmy James and all that, and I forgot to write a better monologue. And I could tell that we're off to a little bit of a shaky start, but then we soared after that. I think, Chops. I think we soared after that.
We did.
Let's see who else is on here tonight. James Murray is out there. Geraldine Powers found everything interesting tonight, especially talking to Aaron Cadieux a little bit earlier. There were some questions. Let's see. Sean Fitzgerald is on tonight. Yes, Sean Fitzgerald from the NB Rude Boys. Yeah, the house band. As soon as we get back in the studio, they're coming on down. We got a big show planned in a few weeks. And Cheryl Jones Lavoie says, "Hey Karen, hey Jimmy, hey Sharon." He had a great job out there tonight. Somebody said that the audio was good, except that there was an echo. Everyone has the echo except for Paul. Yeah, well, that's fine. All right, let's see. Oh, yes. I forgot. You know, Chops Turner has his show, the Chops Turner Show, on the Chops Turner Facebook page every single Sunday night. And I'm a fan. I'm not just saying that because Chops is the sidekick of the century and the co-host with Kahunas and all that. but it's, you know, it really has become a Sunday night routine. You know, like I watch 60 Minutes, right? Because you know that kind of satisfies like my intellectual side. You know, not to say that the Chops Turner Show doesn't.
Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot.
No, that's not what I meant.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
No, I watch like all that serious stuff in 60 Minutes, and then I go right into like a nice, relaxing Chops Turner thing. You know what I mean? The music. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I know that didn't come out right. I'm having a little trouble with my communication tonight here.
Yeah. All right, Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe.
I think Chops is a Republican. I think I don't do politics here. Nobody knows my politics. But okay, all right. Here we go. Hey, what's up? How are you? Oh, we're gonna go to the clip right here. Let's see. I gotta pick the song that I really liked for the Chops Turner Show, and you can go back and go to his page, and you can hear all of the music that he put on last night. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, that's what they say when they're up on, you know, you know, when people are at a banquet and they don't know what else to say, and they go, without further ado. I never know what that means, but without further ado, here's my Chops.
Hiding behind the rainbow's walls, slipping and sliding all around the wall with you. Brown-eyed girl, y'all remember this? You're my brown-eyed girl. Come on. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, just like that. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Uh-oh. Push it real good. Push it. I'm pushing it real good. Push it real good. Push it real good.
Wait a minute. What? That's not how that goes.
Yeah, I gotta make it more interesting.
Looks like Chops made that his own there, I'll tell you.
Yeah, made it over. Push it real good.
I'm hearing this. It's brown-eyed girl. Yeah, it's brown-eyed girl. Ooh, push it real good. Push it real good. I loved it. I love it. Oh man, that's great. He did that. I know that. That was an old DJ. That's an old Salt and Pepper song, and he slipped that brown-eyed girl. That was great. That was magic right there. That was magic.
Yeah, push it real good.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pick what song I'm gonna, put up there tonight. Give Chops a big plug for the Chops Turner Show. So I'm like, oh, I like this song, Oh, I like this song, I like that song. Always fun to hear that. Push it real good. Push it real good. Then I'm like, that's it. We have a winner. We have a winner right here. It's the push it real good. But anyway, yeah, real good. Look like you were enjoying that song quite a bit there.
Oh yeah, I like that song, man. I love that song.
Hey, one of our favorites is out there tonight from Bridgewater, Connecticut. Steve Freeman in the audience tonight.
Hey, what's up, Steve? My man. Always a pleasure. We love you, man. Keep
and by the way, Renee Bee-Boo Miller, who was out there tonight, she goes, hey, wow, look at that. Chops has a great singing voice.
Thanks a lot.
I think what she means is I have you there as the sidekick of the century and all this stuff.
Right.
This guy's got some skills to pay the bills. Don't be fooled over here, That's the guy. That's this guy. We don't have this guy here for nothing. I know how to pick a sidekick.
That's right. Oh.
So Renee B. Boo Miller says Chop's got a great singing voice, and he certainly does.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Leon Monty says that Paul only votes for the chairman of Linguisa.
Leon, you crazy, man.
And Sean Fitzgerald of the NB Rude Boys, our house band, looking forward to when Jimmy James comes back to our studio. Now, in the middle of that clip, you heard him singing that song from our studio. Our country. Isn't
All right, Joe Biden.
Give us back our country. Give us back our country. And I stuck that clip in there because it was from our studio, and he's like, hey, he said he would come back. He make it. Hey, somebody here. Let's see. Somebody here in the audience. Tracy Watkinson says, "Make it rain, Chops. Make it rain."
Oh!
Wait a minute.
Make it rain.
What do you mean make it? What do you mean make it rain? What kind of show are we doing here?
The freaks come out at night.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Jimmy James just said, "Give us back our country," and he's laughing with the water coming out of his eyeballs because he knows that I had one of. That wasn't me. The internet froze. Oh God! Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to be attending the Joey Charienza Welcome Back America show in a couple of weeks. So if you're in the crowd there and you say, "Wait a minute, isn't that knucklehead Santos sitting at the head?" I'm not going to be at the head table. I'm going to be at a VIP table. As far as I know, I'm going to be at a VIP table.
Man.
All of the best for the Paul Santos show. Me and my announcer Johnny J and our wives are going to be front and center, baby, listening to Frank. There he is, right there. So we appreciated him coming on the show. So that'll be a lot of fun. Hey, Chops, guess who's coming on the show next week?
Who's that? Not the guy. I think so.
No. Chubby Tavares. There he is from
Chubby!
Tavares. Yeah, can you believe it? Yes, he's got a new CD out. And, of course, back in the 70s with Tavares, his brothers, More Than a Woman, Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel.
Wow.
Can't Take Away the Music and all that stuff. So, don't take away the music. Don't take away the music. Might be time to X out of the show. Yeah. So he's going to be coming on, and then we got Andrew Pollack from the South Coast LGBTQ Plus Network will be coming on. Let's see. Oh, we have the popcorn guy, the guy that started a business late in his life to try to help his daughter, and it's a great story. There's a rapper from Detroit is going to be coming on, but we're going to have to do some editing that night.
Right.
But some great stuff there, and I know what you're talking about. Chops is really looking forward to this guy right here. Freddy Krueger is coming on the show. That could be like, I think it's kind of, you got to wonder, like, we have guys like Aaron Cadieux, we have guys like Chubby Tavares, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, how come we got Freddy Krueger on? What happened to the show? I think Freddy's going to fit right in, actually.
I'll tell you. He didn't want to come on too late anyway.
Yeah, he wants to come in late that night. He doesn't want to come on at 7. He wants to come out at night because only the freaks come out at night. No, he wants it to be dark outside. He wants it to be dark outside when he comes on. So we might push it back that night just to see how it goes. Okay. By the way, I do have a picture of the week here. I forgot about. Here it is. It's the New Bedford waterfront. Scotty Blanchett with the sun hitting the boats sort of from the side angle there.
Right, it's nice.
And it created that whole that whole sheen there, that whole reflection, and created something. I know that. The picture looks real good. Okay, well, let's see. I think that about wraps it up. I got to tell you, we usually recut and repost the interview, so we're going to recut and do some things with the Aaron Cadieux interview and also Jimmy James. Hey, Jimmy, man, I'm watching the clips of this man. I'm thinking, man, I've never seen a guy. He was like so happy and just like, he just loves every second of performing in Nashville. Yeah, and he's going to be back here, as he said during the clip, back here in New Bedford. And speaking of a guy who loves to perform, it's this guy right over here, Chops Turner, and you're loading up with some gigs over there, my friend, now that they're opening up.
Yes, sir, man. I'm going to be going back to Tomatoes May 29th, man.
Yeah, with Colleen Marshall, yes.
Me and Colleen Marshall will coming live this Friday night at the Fireplace here in New Bedford. And next Sunday, I'll be at PT 65, and I'll be with the Chops Turner Band live at Cape Verdean Club in East Providence, Father's Day. So we got a lot of stuff coming up.
Wow! So now that things are opening up, Chops is getting busier and busier. Just give me a heads up if they want you on a Monday night. You know what I mean? Like we can.
I can't do Mondays. I'm on Paul Santos. Man. I'm on Come Ye Facebook.
All right, well that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you're dropping in a Christmas Carol. You're doing everything tonight. That's great. Hey, well, next week with Chubby Tavares on, man,
that's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, it only takes a minute, girl.
Oh yeah, he's one of my
to
mentors.
Fall in love.
Oh yeah,
to fall in love. It only takes a minute, girl.
Yeah. He had a lot of hits. Heaven, Must Be Missing an Angel. Oh man,
yeah, just so many.
Who done it? Who done it?
Yeah, who done it? Penny for Your Thoughts.
Penny for Your Thoughts. Oh man. What's the one?
Check It Out was the first one they hit.
Check It Out, right? Don't Take Away the Music.
Don't take away the music. Yeah, that was a good one. So many. I was in high school around that time, and so it was just cool. Like we were proud that they were from here. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk to them about that, and anybody that was from this area, we're like, oh, Tavares, that's us. They're from here. You know what I mean? Like we thought it was great that they made it big.
Imagine Grammy Award winners, Tavares, man. That is phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. All right. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our guests. We had some terrific guests tonight. Aaron Cadieux from Bristol County Media and Mr. Jimmy James.
Oh.
We'd like to thank our newest sponsors, ServPro, Empire Ford, Isaacson Solar, Lifestream, Basque Incorporated, and Aaron Pools and Spas. Our thanks to New Bedford Guide owner Michael Sylvia. And, of course, to this gentleman right here, Mr. Chops Turner right there. Yes, he's right there. Oh, is that little thing you do? Like, oh, wait a minute, my arthritis.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for watching tonight. Thank our guests. We'll see you next week, next Monday night, right here for the Paul Santos Show. Thanks again. And as I like to say in closing every single week, it's very important. Don't forget to laugh. Good night, everybody.